Don't you think it's just like a hot word? Like when people use the word vegan, it just like comes with all these connotations.
Oh, gosh, I mean, veganism is thrown around everywhere now. I think I just have so much to say on this for so many different reasons.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel you. It's like it's a hot topic.
It's a hot topic.
People who are vegan love to tell you they're vegan.
And they love to post about their veganism, and they love to post all, about what vegan meal they've made for the day, and they love to you see a lot of that. And that's not saying I'm anti-vegan, because it's actually quite funny, but we'll get into that a little bit later. I'm just interested to talk about this because it is a very hot topic.
And you saw that movie Game Changers?
I did.
I haven't seen.
Yes, I did see the Game Changers documentary. I definitely would recommend it. It's a great documentary.
There's just a lot to break down with veganism. I think it's incredible that you make that decision to cut all those things out of your diet, all the animal products. It's hard to do.
I think it's hard to do if you are used to eating that much meat. I think for me personally, when I decided, because I was, if you want to get technical, pescatarian for 6 years. So I went through that change of, I think it was around 2011.
Yeah, I remember.
I was like, I'm going to cut out meat.
It was a big deal when we'd go out. I remember people were sort of funny.
They were funny.
Like funny and sort of gave you a little bit of a hard time.
Oh, absolutely. I was.
Because you didn't eat meat.
At first, it was like a health thing. I was like, let me just I want to cut out meat this year. I'm going to do it. Actually, was like, I'm going to be vegan. It lasted
What were your
a month.
reasons? Do you mind me asking?
At first, it wasn't in terms of animal rights or anything like that. Like, it was more just like from a health conscious place.
Right.
I wanted to cut it out.
Okay.
Like I said, I tried to be vegan for a couple of months straight out. I think that was a bit too full on for me. So I was like, let me cut out meat.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that, and it was fine. I didn't make a big deal out of it. I didn't want to find, I wasn't preaching, and I made it very comfortable if I went out to eat with friends. I was like, no, don't worry. I'll always find something on the menu. Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So I was pescatarian for 6 years. And then it's so funny, when vegans became cool, I actually decided, no, I don't.
Was that related? Did you wait?
I decided to eat more meat.
So
this
was that
year,
completely unrelated?
It was unrelated. I mean, this year especially, I guess, just being pregnant, and I've been quite low in iron and all that stuff.
You incorporated meat back into your diet, but not a lot.
Meat. Not a lot. Like, as long as it was like organic, grass fed, or like,
sure,
I would try and eat a bit of meat. But it was funny. While everyone was going vegan this year, I would say, well, I'm part-time vegan, casual meat eater. Like,
yes, I can relate.
That would be like and that is not to say I am personally ready to go back to more of a plant-based diet.
Yeah,
to be honest. Especially after watching this documentary, which I really recommend it because it doesn't preach.
I don't like the preaching.
The preaching is a bit too much, but I did like what they were saying. And I think for me, I don't love to eat meat. No,
I'm not a massive meat eater myself. And I found that it happened, funnily enough, without pun intended, quite organically.
Yeah.
that I started to become maybe, a few years ago, a bit more conscious of it wasn't just about meat. I was becoming more conscious of the environment and my impact towards it. I got into that whole keep cup. I only got my coffee in a keep cup to save on all those plastics and paper. And went eager beaver on, not to say I didn't recycle before, but being more strict with my recycling, and using beeswax wraps for my kids' lunches to not use cling wrap or Glad wrap.
Yeah, like, you can take it to whatever level you want.
You have to, you've got to do your part.
You can do your
Yeah,
part.
and becoming more, I would say I'm more plant-based now. Like I am, and I'm saying it's hard for people who are heavy meat eaters, but
Mhm.
as a family, it can also be difficult. But I think there's a really good that I think what the way we've done it, I think is really working for us. Where we do, we don't eat we don't eat that much meat, but I noticed we were eat we we're eating a little bit too much meat during the week, so I decided to just do week free meat free week,
Meatless. Yeah.
or like only do like every 2 weeks have maybe one or two meat dishes.
Yeah, or a lot of people do like meatless Mondays.
Right. Meatless Mondays. So doing the whole week of no meat. So there's a few alternatives, and the kids started to like tofu a little bit,
Oh, that's
which
good.
is good. And I guess if we're eating it, they don't have a choice really. And falafels, and not that we
Yeah,
didn't
there's
do it before,
tons
but we're
of
doing it
stuff.
more consciously, regularly as a routine.
Is that because you want to cut down on your
Yeah.
meat intake? Yeah.
Yes. But not for necessary, but semi partly health reasons, but partly also because I actually do think growing children do need some meat in their diet.
Right. Yeah, that's fair enough. I've seen situations where, I knew this lady who was vegan and her son is like about 3. And I asked her, I said, are you guys all vegan? Does your son eat meat? Does he not eat meat?
Yeah.
Do you give him meat? And she was like, yeah, I give him meat, but I remind him that he's eating an animal.
Oh,
And I'm like, that's so cruel
that's
to
a
a
bit
little
mean.
boy,
That's a bit mean.
to your son,
You can
who
still teach through actions. Like,
you can.
you
Maybe
don't have
don't
to
give him as
say,
much meat, but
yeah, he'll
don't,
notice that he's not having a lot of it.
yeah. Like you're almost
Kind of
making him
shaming him.
feel bad, but
Feel
you're
bad. It's
giving him
bad.
a bit of meat, but
It's cruel.
I think it's a little bit cruel.
I've got
So,
a child the same age. I wouldn't say that.
no.
Oh, this was a cow.
This was a cow. See that cow on TV? Yeah, well that's what we're eating right now. They kill the cow, and I don't like when
I don't know.
people
It's
do
not
that.
necessary. It's unnecessary.
It's very unnecessary, especially to like
Actions
little
speak louder
kids.
than words. Like they'll see that their mum's vegan. Like it's,
I
do you know what I
think
mean?
so
Like she doesn't
too.
have to go that far.
That far. It's like you're basically saying, I'm gonna give it to you, but don't eat it. But I'm giving it to you, or is
Very
it
mixed messages.
or is it I'm giving it to you now, but when you make that decision, you know what to make, you know what decision to make.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of tricky to do for kids, but I thought that was a little bit ridiculous. So funny, when I became pescatarian and stopped eating meat, I was shamed for not eating meat.
Yes.
Like my friends would be like, "Oh, come on, just eat meat." Or
now you should
like,
be ashamed if you do eat meat.
right? Like I was. It's hilarious because my husband used to, before he met me, he ate obviously more meat. He met me. I didn't cook with meat anymore, so he probably ate less meat. But I was getting told off about that, and like, no, a man needs to eat meat, and he needs to eat meat, and
It's so
I
like
was
primitive.
feeling really
Yeah.
shamed. So in a way, I laugh at it now because now people are getting shamed for the complete opposite. Like it's amazing how things have changed.
Yeah, I always thought a man doesn't need. I don't think a man needs to eat meat every day. It's not
I
necessary.
don't think so either. And like, if anyone does watch this documentary, it is saying like, where athletes are so used to, that typical like, oh, you eat a steak every day
to bulk up.
to bulk
So you're
up,
saying
and
they
it's all-
bulked up without steak?
Oh yeah, it's
What
amazing.
substitutes were they had? What did they bulk up doing? Like, was it protein shakes or?
The only thing they didn't really get into, which I would have loved to see more, is what their diet actually was.
Ooh, well, that's a
So
massive
it is.
component.
Like they
We
did
need to
talk
know
about
that.
like legumes. They talked about, they were talking about more carbs, good carbs.
What's a good carb?
They like your sweet potatoes, your grains,
Brown rice,
your brown
lentils, yeah.
rice.
No, that's a legume. Yeah,
It's a legume. But what was really interesting is that they did show, like, they had 3 athletes and, for the day, like, one had a beef burrito, one had a bean burrito, one had chicken burrito.
Mhm.
And they did all their blood tests.
Yeah.
And then the next day they had them all on the bean burrito,
Mhm.
so all plant-based. And to see their blood the days that they ate meat, their blood was cloudy, didn't look good at all.
Oh,
And
no
then
beef.
when they were eating beef, it was
And chicken?
and chicken.
Was it cloudier in chicken?
Much
Same.
of the same. And then you got to see what it was like when they didn't have meat that day, and it was clear. So I do believe, obviously, I think plant-based diets are better for you. Probably
Sure.
better for your heart. They're probably I think that it is. I don't love how people preach so much about
I hate it.
it's just too much.
I'm not going to say I don't. I hate it. I think it's self-righteousness. I think it's just like religion.
And it's not like these people don't probably want to eat meat. Like
No, they want to. They can't have a piece of cake. It's got butter in it. They can't even have Doritos or Twisties. Nothing.
Oh, God.
They want to. You
They
think they
want-
want? They
Yeah.
think they don't want to enjoy and partake in the fun. Sometimes food is all the joy in the world for people. They can't do it. They can't have anything.
They're just most passionate. They're so passionate about the environment and making the change, and passionate about animals, and so that's why they can't
That's why I said
partake in their
self-sacrificing.
Dorito eating and eating cakes. Or I mean, there's options.
We should all
for cakes.
reduce the amount of Doritos and cakes we.
Right. I mean, it's not really great for anybody. But yeah, no, that's in another sense that these people are more, environmentally friendly. That's why they can't eat and are not going to make those food choices.
That's right.
Don't you think there's a difference between being vegan and being plant-based?
Yes, 100%.
Vegan could have. I mean, sugar is still vegan. Like, there are people eating vegan donuts and vegan cakes and vegan. That's not saying that's not good for you.
No, you can be totally unhealthy, and it's
Be vegan.
Vegan does not imply health.
No.
Veganism is climate consciousness.
Mhm.
Veganism is not for health reasons.
No.
Veganism is you're going plant-based because you're because meat and the farming industry and growing livestock is bad for the environment. That's why they're doing it. So
Right. But
it's not for health reasons.
No.
It's for the environment.
Right. But some people don't really get that. Like, there were
Right.
markets, where I
Yes.
live, there were these Sunday vegan markets, and
Yeah.
every, on Sundays they'll be like, oh yeah, it'd be nice to take a stroll,
Mm.
get something that's like good for me. But I remember every time I went and walked through the markets, what did I see? I saw fried vegetables. I saw, yes, vegan donuts. I mean, they are really good, but I saw fake, we'll get onto that in a sec too, like burgers with like fake
which have been
meat.
which have been reported to be
Some
not
of
very
them are
good
not
for you
good
at
for
all.
you.
Yeah.
So I would always never really find anything I wanted to eat because it wasn't necessarily healthy.
Right.
Yes, there were, they had like juices, but I can go to a juice bar to get a juice. Like, what's the vegan juice?
Yeah.
So
it's just those bastard marketing people just spinning the whole thing
Mhm.
round, trying to sell you all this vegan crap. Like
Right.
saying you can go
And
you
the
can
price
it can be
is
just like
double.
it was before, when you ate all
Right.
this
Insane,
takeaway bad
of
stuff,
course.
but it's vegan now.
It's
Like,
vegan,
but
so
it
it's
doesn't mean
healthy.
it's not healthy.
Yeah, we don't know, or we kind of, I've tried to do some research on some of it, but it's like the stuff that they actually put in to make these products look and taste like meat is not always a good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's best to go more plant-based if you feel like it. In saying that, this is why I almost contradict myself sometimes, because yes, I'm like, vegan isn't healthy, vegan isn't. But I guess we probably rather, in terms of environment and world, obviously we would rather see everyone eating healthier and more plant-based diets than be pro fast food and pro,
Absolutely.
eating
It could be
really
the
crap.
start
It
of
could
the
be,
change of there
yeah.
is a huge change and a shift, but unfortunately, while many of us are doing what we can, doing our part, a lot of people are, I would say, going extreme and really
Mhm.
sacrificing. That's not gonna make the biggest impact.
It could
The
turn
whole
people
world
the
has
other way.
to do it.
Yeah. Which
The
I
billions
feel
of people in China, the
oh,
millions, hundreds of millions of people in America have to really stop with the McDonald's and the In and Out
of
burgers. And,
course.
there are, I think, 2 million vegan Australians. So, and we're saying that they're vegan, but there's also many other people like myself and Beck who are becoming more, not becoming, but are more plant based. Like we have a reduction in our meat
Yeah,
intake. We're still having a little bit of it, like the organic chicken and mince
of
sometimes,
course.
but it's more plant based.
I think though, I do think things are changing a little bit in that
Oh,
contest. Like
yeah.
even drive through, like fast food now have options of veggie burgers, which they never had. You've got Burger
Mm-hmm.
King or Hungry Jack's here doing like the Rebel Burger. You've got Burger King over there using like Impossible meat
Oh, yeah.
on a lot of their
It's
burgers. So
changing.
you have the option, and just the other day there was an article that came out about the biggest dairy product company in America has gone bankrupt because no one's
Too many alternatives.
drinking cow's milk
No,
anymore.
no.
Um,
There's
so
too much there's too many hormones
in
in
the
it, and
that's
it's the amounts as well. People, you might have some like sometimes a
mhm,
little bit, but I
little
don't think
bit.
people are drinking it in the amounts that they used to.
No,
It's not it's not
even
good.
like it's crazy to
There's a lot
see
of
soy
lactose
milk's
intolerant
gone.
people.
Your soy milk
Oh
has
yeah, that was
gone
a
off
while
the
ago.
shelves now because they're like, oh yeah, no one even has soy milk anymore. I was
Apparently
like,
that's bad for you too.
right.
I
But
think everything
actually,
in
in the
moderation. Like I don't
documentary,
think a
they were
bit of soy
saying,
milk is
I don't, yeah, I
a
think
bit of
soy
soy
milk's
milk is
fine.
okay.
Absolutely. So, do you have friends or do you know people that are
Yeah.
those vegan people
Yeah.
that are just try and push it on you, like try and, or they
Yes.
love to talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
it?
They love to talk about how they're so wonderful because they're
Right.
vegan.
Like they're feeling like high and
High and
righteous,
self-righteous.
self righteous.
And it's just like it sounds just like the religious people or the cult people that I
Mm-hmm.
used to have interactions with. It's just because it's this blanket view of the world. It's like a black and white view of the world. The world is gray. It's not, you can't just say it has to be like this. It's not, it's gonna go, it's gonna take a lot of time and everyone's gonna do it differently in their own way. You can't just blanketly say everyone has to do this now. It's not gonna happen like
No,
that.
absolutely not. I, yeah, I mean, I definitely have, people like that as well, where it's just vegan overload.
Yeah.
And I get it. I mean, it's funny because I get annoyed by it, even though yes, I would love to stick to more of a plant-based diet, but the more people, I think that's just me because again, like we've talked about before, I'm not an extremist.
Yeah, me
Like when
neither.
people start getting to the extreme, I almost do the opposite.
Yeah, I find it really repulsive.
Repulsive. Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, this is too much. So,
You have to do things
what's the
moderately.
yeah, moderation, or if you're gonna do it, just do it.
Yeah, and don't talk about
And
it.
you don't have
You
to
don't
talk
have
about
to
it
you
too
don't have to
much.
like talk about it
No.
or don't have to shout it from the
I
rooftops.
don't
No
need
one
to
actually gives a
hear
shit.
no.
Like you're the change you want to see in the world. Great.
Great.
I'm doing all these things no one knows about. I don't preach about it. I don't say that I've joined an egg co-op. But I'm going to tell you now. I'm part of an egg co-op.
There you go.
I don't buy, like, when I found out about how the eggs are coming to us and the horrible ways they treat the chickens and how they have so little space and they're caged up. Not that I wasn't buying caged
Aged out eggs.
eggs, but even the free range were not really free range. But now I'm getting eggs. I'm part of an egg co-op. There's a lady She runs a farm. Checked her out. All the neighbors are involved. She has chickens roaming on the farm. She's
That's
collecting the
amazing.
eggs. We reuse the cartons, so we give her the same carton every week or every 2 weeks. However, I only get eggs like every fortnight or every 3 weeks. Some people
Yeah.
get them every week depending on the size of their family. She puts them in, she delivers them to you, give her a little bit extra money than you would pay in a supermarket, but you're part of an egg co-op where you know
So
the
much
chickens
better
are
for
lively
you.
and it's better for you.
Yeah,
But I
absolutely.
ain't telling
Right.
I
You're
ain't
not like,
preaching
I
to
didn't
my
see your
work
Insta
colleagues.
stories
Yeah,
every
I
second
don't, I'm not
of,
putting on my Insta stories that I'm part of an egg co-op or like going to vegan markets and
no.
stuff.
I think if you do I think if it's done more subtly, people might pay attention. Whereas some people, when it's shoved down their throat,
They
or it's
rebel.
they rebel.
They start going, oh, those stupid
Yeah,
vegans, look
those
what they're
right.
doing, and they're. But I get that they're fanatical because I understand where they're coming.
It's kind of, but it's also a positive. I don't know. It's not negative fanatical. It's
No, it's
positive
a good fanatical because
fanatical.
I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
It's true. We don't have time. The environment is bad. We should all do this, but you're not going to reach the amount of people you need to reach by necessarily doing it like this.
Having 50 Insta stories every day,
or the
overload.
or the maybe not violent protests or you know being self-righteous about it never won anyone over.
No.
I don't think.
And I think it
has
just
to be
happening
cool.
anyways.
Yeah, it has to be
It's
cool.
cool. It's happening. Like
It's
there's
happening.
more-
By people doing it, and doing this kind of sacrifice, other people will catch on and sort of feel bad. Maybe they want to do their part, and then they'll jump on board and do their part, and hopefully it'll be a trickle effect until like it's a critical mass, and we will actually have a positive impact on the environment, and it'll hopefully reverse into it working for us instead of nature working against us right now because we're treating it so poorly.
So poorly.
And like I was curious because I think I always thought that there wouldn't be enough plants to feed the whole population of the earth, but doing some research on this now, it looks like
'Cause I was wondering that too.
if they got rid of all the agriculture and the farming lands they used for the livestock, there's a good possibility that they could grow crops and protein like legumes and things like that. It's just
as long as we're not in drought.
as long as there's no drought. As long as they can. Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's such this whole horrible double-edged sword catch-22 thing. It's just really annoying.
Another thing I wanted to talk about, which really drives me crazy, and they've got to like figure this out, those paper straws.
Are they? Yeah.
That are everywhere at cafes and like, I'm sorry, they
Enough
have
with the
to
straws.
think of a better
Or just
way
don't
or
use a
type
straw.
of straws. Yeah, but I don't know if I necessarily want to be sipping out of like a glass at a cafe. But
Right.
they completely disintegrate. You're not even finished your drink yet. Like some of these straws are horrible. And they really, I get it. Like we're not allowed to use plastic straws anymore, and that's fine. But there are companies who they have these other types of materials that they use that feel and, you can use as straws. I mean, in Italy, they're using pasta at bars now, which
clever.
is great.
I
I'm like, what
that.
a great idea.
That's
so they're using
clever.
pasta as straws.
That's so cool.
Such a good idea.
That would work well.
I think that would work great. I mean, way better than these disintegrating,
killing all the marine life.
These paper straws. So, yeah, I've needed to vent about that because every time like I order something, I'm like, oh, am I going to get the paper straw? Am I going to get a fancier straw? I mean, there's been times where I think I ordered, it was like a Thai iced tea or something, and they just like put down the drink, and it wasn't even out of a glass. It was out of those, those, I don't know what you call them anymore. They're almost like those jar. They gave me a jar. I was like, I can't drink out. I was like, do you guys have any straws? They're like, no, we don't have any straws. I was like, you don't have any straws. I
No,
guess
bed
they
straws
couldn't
are
even
bad.
afford paper straws at this point, this restaurant. I was
You
like,
have to carry
okay.
around your own metal straw.
Yeah.
Which could poke you in the eye and kill you.
Well, true, yeah. Like, I don't know if I want to be, I guess I should get one of those straws. Those just metallic straws, because they're fine.
If you drink that kind of thing all the time, every day.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the paper straws.
I also listened to this amazing podcast that I love, Jay Shetty. Shout out.
Love him.
And there was this amazing episode where they talked about blue zones, and I really like the way they talked about it, where blue zones are statistically where people live the longest in the world. They've sort of mapped out. And I think I think many of the places that they identified, you know, parts of Japan and in the Mediterranean, they all had many things in common. The way the way they lived with the community and their work, they were close with the people they worked with and the people in their community. They had a social network, you know, like a physical one, and they were very active. They did exercise every day, whether it be gardening or walking. They often had to walk fast. So they weren't in like cities, major cities, but a big factor was that their diet was plant-based. They never said it's not these people who live longest. They still ate some type of animal products sometimes, but it was more plant-based.
More plant-based.
Right? So more fresh fruit and vegetables, carbohydrates and all those legumes. Sometimes they would have fish. They never said that they didn't have meat at all. Sometimes they would.
There you go.
It was just once in a while.
Balanced.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all about this friggin' balance. And unfortunately, humans are just not.
It's like they can't have a balance. It's all, or some people just in general, it's either like all or nothing. Like they can't they're not good with just having a little bit of something or a little bit of meat or, it's like, I don't know. I agree with that. I think it is all about balance. But I mean, if you don't like meat or I get people that are, very pro animals, animal activists. They don't want to eat meat for those reasons.
That's okay.
And that's okay. And you don't have to. And that makes sense. And then there are other people doing it, health consciously. And yeah, if they do have some meat, it's organic or it's grass-fed
or some people hunt their meat.
Or some people hunt their meat.
Or, a lot of people also, they're part of like meat, I want to say meat co-op, even though it's not, but they'll all pitch in money together to the butcher and they'll get like a whole animal and divide it up and split
the meat.
Split the meat. So they'll have quite a bit to last them for a long time and they're sharing, like using all parts of the animal, which is very sustainable.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Do you think, I think another reason maybe a lot of people aren't able to, have more of a vegan diet
expensive
is it's costly, it's expensive. Like obviously,
we're lucky enough that we live in a place or we can afford fresh fruit and vegetables, but people who are living in poverty, of course it's going to be easier to go get a burger like that's $2 or $5 or meat that's
health food stores are expensive.
I totally agree with that. It has to be, again, it's got to be our government that helps our governments, the leaders of the world, just like that Greta Thunberg applied to at the UN.
Right.
It's got to come from the leaders to implement this, to give it to the masses.
Yeah, and they need to bring down some of the prices. Like we have it's an amazing grocery store in LA. Love it. I mean, yes, Whole Foods is great, but if you want to go a step further, there's another grocery store called Air One.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just ridiculously expensive. I mean, I could walk through the aisles there and I'm like, oh, there's this and oh, there's that. And
like how much, for example?
I mean, like probably close to $15 to $20 for a juice.
Freshly squeezed
squeezed juiced. Even they have
That's
tons of products,
disgusting. Is
tons of
it organically
skincare.
grown?
It's beyond organically grown. It's just I don't even know. I don't even know if there is a word for it.
It's
But
like some kind of
yeah,
laboratory grown
everything in there
fruit
is.
and vegetables.
You buy a few things and it's like $100. Like they have, and it's a supermarket. It's not just a juice place. They do fresh food. They do, but like even a little tiny, tiny container of a salad, like for you to grab from there, is at least $15. It's just over the
Yeah,
top. But
very
if they were to
expensive.
make these products a little bit more cheaper, people could
Could afford
be
to.
healthy. You
Yeah.
have to have a lot of money to.
Yes, you do. Yeah, it's
It's
this unfortunate paradox or dichotomy of the world we live in,
Mhm. I think if
and
they
it's
were to
completely
make those
unfair.
changes, then maybe people would be able to afford to eat
Absolutely.
healthier and even like, we were talking about the sugar contents, like gluten contents,
Yep.
and there's so much other stuff to be taught, that
Mm.
are put in food. But yeah, I do feel like maybe a lot of families aren't able to have access to these products or get these products because they are quite
Yeah, that's
expensive.
right.
Peanut butter's $2, but almond butter's 10.
Yeah,
So
why is
like
that?
because peanuts are not that good for you. They're filled, and almond butter is better for you.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Why
how
can't
can
but
families
almonds
afford
if
that?
almonds and peanuts, they're both a nut that are grown, why can't they
Mhm.
make the almond butter
Can't they be
the
a bit
same as the peanut butter?
absolutely? So if you're on a budget, what are you supposed to do? You can't keep grabbing the healthy option
Yeah,
because you're on a budget. So I think that makes it hard for families to consistently be on a plant-based diet.
absolutely. We don't have almond butter.
No, they don't. Well, I found it strange the other day. I went to get almond butter. Not my husband's allergic to
Oh,
peanuts, so I don't really have anything with peanuts anymore. And
you can have a little bit of
I
peanut I
yeah.
mean, like, as
Oh,
in
I do
you can have a
sometimes.
little bit of peanut butter sometimes.
Yeah, but I
One
went to
jar will
find
last us,
almond
like, a
butter.
year. Like, we
Yeah,
don't
but we love it in our smoothies. We love
Oh,
putting
yeah.
almond butter in our smoothies. But yeah, the same thing happened. We couldn't find. There was maybe one um a brand of almond butter, and then there was like all peanut butter here. So it's kind of hard to find. And again, the almond butter was $10 plus. I was like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. And then everything said nut butter, but I kept reading it and it was peanuts.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just
You can make your own almond
you
butter.
can make your own almond butter.
Yeah,
can
that's
if
what
you
that's
have
where
time.
and that's where people are going down that route. They're making their own
Which is probably
dishwashing
the
liquid
most
and shampoo and
sh-
conditioner
and
and
cleaning products. I did that the other day because I'm trying to, with baby coming, trying to, make sure I'm cleaning things like just really basic with,
Mhm. No harsh
water,
chemical.
baking soda, exactly, a little bit of
Oh, that's
essential
good, good.
oil, like making my
Oh,
own
very
little
nice.
products.
Good on you.
So, yeah, I think at the end of the day, don't preach.
Yeah.
I don't love the preaching, but I guess I would rather people preach about more plant-based diets and hey, eat more fast food or eat crap and eat no. So but
Yeah.
I think
True.
I think like we always say, balance is good.
Yeah, balance is key. Incorporate more fruit and veg if you can, and
Exactly,
beans and legumes
and all of that stuff. No need to shame people.
Don't shame people.
For anything that they do, unless they're making like really bad diet, they're making bad unhealthy food lifestyle diet choices and they're having like actual health issues, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe
step in.
Maybe
If
step in.
it's your place. If it's your place.
If it's your place. We could probably keep talking about this forever because it's a hot topic.
Yeah, it's very very divisive too. Like we might offend people, or we might not. It's hard to we're not going to solve the world's problem by
No.
speaking about this, but hopefully shed some light to people if they are feeling bad for not being vegan. It's okay.
It's okay.
see.